Good morning, Liz. How are you? I can't hear you.
I'm great, and so are you.
We were both having lighting things. We were trying to figure out our lighting right before this. Yours looks good.
Thank you.
How you doing? It's halfway through the week.
Oh, I'm really great and grateful. Let the record show, and great. Well, my grandson says he's great, grateful, and grinding.
Oh, yeah, do it, huh? I like.
Yes, his name is Honor. Yes.
Oh, that's a good name too.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the little one?
Yes, that's the little one. That's John Leslie's son. Yes, my grandson. Yeah, he's special. He has a lot of energy. He's working, Grandpa, up in here, up in here.
He's 6, right? That's a big
Yeah.
age.
Yes, he's running this house. He has a lot of energy.
Well, it sounds like he's taken after his grandpa. If he's already adding to your one-liners, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. He loves quotes. We were at an event shortly just going through, and he asked, "Can I give my speech now?" I said, "No, this is somebody else's event. This is not Grandpa's event." Okay. He was ready to give his speech. Yes. 6 years old. He's ready to speak.
I love it. I can't wait. He's got to get a YouTube channel or something.
Absolutely. That's a good idea because he's ready, and there are a lot of our kids are ready. If they can have, and I've always felt this to be true, if they can have little league football teams and baseball teams and basketball teams, then they can have little league orators and speakers and debaters. And so we're working on something to begin to work with young people very early on to create a shift in their thinking.
Oh, I can't wait to hear more about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want people to tell us that's well, now I just want to know what it is, but I'm gonna beg you to tell me later offline. So Alyssa, we've already got a ton of people on here. Let us know where you're watching from. We've got Indiana. Oh, this one's fun. We've got Singapore, and it's midnight, and they are tuning in right now. We've got Vancouver. So let us know where you are watching from. We always love seeing the Bahamas. That doesn't sound too terrible right now, right?
Right.
All sorts of people. What are you going to talk to us about today?
I'm going to talk about perseverance today.
Oh,
because
I like
it's major. Because a good friend of mine, Lisa Bennett, she's involved in real estate. She's an icon in real estate. And I mentioned her yesterday. She said, you got to go through something to get something. And that's real. That when you want something, you got to go through something. It's not just a straight line there. I wish I could just tell you, oh, just think positive and everything will be all right. No, you got to go through something to get to something.
Well, I can't wait to hear it. I'm going to jump out of here and let you go to town.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's such a pleasure to be here with you. I want to share some thoughts with you. I've been doing a lot of thinking about where we are right now. I was talking to a friend of mine named Jim Epstein, and he said he was going for a walk with his uncle. And his uncle asked him, how was his sight? He said, what do you mean by that? And he said, how is your insight? And so Jim said, why are you asking this? He said, I want you to know that your insight, how you see yourself in the face of life, is very important. Spend some time thinking about who you are, how you're showing up, and what is it you have going for yourself, and what are the things that you need to do to improve yourself. Most people don't have insight. Most people are living, as Darren Benzie would say, a misplaced life. That's why people get old before their time. They're living a life that's not them because they've never taken the time to have insight, to figure out who they are and what's the purpose and meaning of their lives. And then the next side he asked about foresight. Where are you going? And he said, if you don't know where you're going, you're going to spend your life living in darkness. And I can identify with that because for a period of time, I didn't have insight into this Les Brown that you now see. He was held hostage. I didn't even know he was back there. I didn't know he existed. And what I realized that when I began to work on myself and get involved in self-development, I developed some insight. And I said, wait a minute, I can do more. It began to expand my vision beyond the life that I was living at that time. And then foresight, it began to expand the world that I saw for myself and saw for my family. I want you to write this down because we're in a very important place. Everything has been turned upside down. And Jim Epstein said, you know, Les, I was talking to my minister. He says, everything ends, including what we're going through right now. So the question becomes, who is it you have to be? What is it you have to do? How do you navigate this place where we are? We're seeing stuff that we never saw coming. We're going through stuff unlike we've ever seen before. Some stuff we've seen before, and it's coming back with a vengeance. And so what do you do? How do you make it? Perseverance. I want you to write this down. Perseverance. Because when I think about when I started out as a speaker, I used to go out to the shopping mall, and anybody who came within 3 feet of me, I would talk to them about what I did. Hi, my name is Les Brown. I'm a motivational speaker. Do you or someone you know need a motivational speaker? No, I don't. And I would do that every day and find some people say, you know what? Come to think of it, the people that I work with, they were talking about having an event and they need a speaker. And I would get their information. And I say, can I use your name as a recommendation? 95% of speaking engagements as a result of personal recommendation. And that willingness, the perseverance to go out to the shopping mall, I would get dressed up and go to the shopping mall. And I call it the 3-yard rule. Talk to people. And if that did not work, talk to more people. TTP. Talk to people, write that down. That doesn't work. TTMP, talk to more people. And eventually, things begin to happen. Eventually, doors open that I did not see because I was willing to persevere. Most people won't do that. They won't. I remember standing in a cleaner's, and I practiced that. Guy was in 3 feet of me, and I started talking to him about what I did. And sure enough, he had a speaking opportunity for me. You just never know. And so as you look at yourself, look at your goals, look at where we are, here's something that's important. Focus. Because stuff's happening every day that you don't see coming. Every day is like an avalanche of stuff coming. And so I want you to write this down. This is very important right now. Working on your mind, building wealth to leave a legacy, and helping people. I spend my time, my days, focus on how can I help people? What is it that I can do? I can finish strong, that I will stay on track. And sometimes there's some stuff happening and I want to go get in it, but that's not my strong suit. I want to do it, but I can't do that now. At this stage of my life, at 75, I've got to stay focused on building a legacy for my children and my grandchildren and my 4 great-grandsons, and building wealth that will outlast me. I remember hearing Steve Harvey said he went to the hospital with a friend of his who went to visit his grandmother. And his grandmother asked Steve's friend, "Do you know your grandfather's name?" And he said, "No, I don't." And she said, "Because he didn't leave you anything." And she said, "Had he left you something, you would know his name." There are people who have forgotten because they didn't build a legacy. They didn't think in terms of legacy. They didn't think of terms of building something that will outlive them because they got so distracted. And stuff is always going to happen. Yesterday, young kid, young man got shot in the back 7 times by cops, finger trigger happy cops. And I looked at it and I couldn't, first of all, I heard about it. I didn't watch it. Why? Because I didn't want it in my consciousness. I knew what it was going to trigger. I knew I've been there before, and I had to really restrain myself on listening to it and getting caught up in it. There are all kinds of stuff that's going on now. And so the people that are going to be able to make a greater impact are the people that have the consciousness, the insight, and the awareness to stay on course. You got to ask yourself and write this down. Am I on course? Am I using my mind, my time, and my energy in the most productive way possible right now? There's nothing I can do. I'm sorry for the family. I'm sorry for that young man. But I've got something that I want to accomplish before I leave here. And at 75, I don't have a lot of time to be distracted. I've wasted a lot of valuable time. What this pandemic has done is made me reflect on my life, and I found myself reflecting and reviewing countless conversations and time and energy doing stuff that was not on my path, doing stuff that I did not come here to do. Write this down. Do what you came to do. I came to change lives. I came to motivate and inspire people. That's what I came to do. This is the calling on my life. I don't know about you, but this is the calling on my life. We were chosen for a purpose. And in order to do what is your calling is, it takes perseverance. And let me give you a definition for perseverance. And I'm going to read it to you because it's something to put down and to remember. Perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did. Come on now. Come on. Perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did. That's what perseverance is. That's the hard work you do after you get tired of the hard work you already did. Most people never knock on the door of perseverance. They don't even know what hard work is. People say, oh, it's not over till the fat lady sings. Well, most people quit when she's just clearing her throat. I guess we ought to go home. She clearing her throat now. No. See, in order to break through now, in order to do the things that we want to do, in order to build a legacy for our children, and trust me on this, a lot of people are feeling beat down. Adults as well as children wore out. Drug use has increased. And there are people who are just zoning out on marijuana. Well, it's legal now. It's legal. Oh, so it's legal. So therefore, there's a reason for you to do it because it's legal now, because they found a way to make money on it now so you can zone out. When you know what you're supposed to do, when you have insight on your reason for being here, when you are engaged in doing what you have to do, you don't have time to be zoning out on marijuana or anything else. Because the goal is to keep the main thing, to stay focused. Where focus goes, energy flows. And so as you look at yourself, look at your goals. Here's something else. Perseverance is stubbornness with purpose that you just won't turn around. I cannot tell you the number of no's that I faced. And when I started out, people that I was working with and had a connection and relationship with who had PhDs and MBAs, and they said, "Hey, Les, yeah, man, I'm going to keep my job. See you, brother." I said, "Okay." And I kept going. It was challenging. It was difficult facing those rejections constantly because nobody who looked like me had been on stage as a motivational speaker. And so they told me, "You got the complexion of rejection. This is only for people with the complexion of connection. They're not going to hire you, Brownie." And guess what I did? I ignored them. See, what people think about you and your possibilities and what you can do with your life and your potential and your gift and your story and your voice is none of your business. See, we have another sight, not only insight and foresight, but there's mindsight and eyesight. Eyesight when you judge according to appearances. Mindsight when you live out of your imagination. The imagination, according to Walt Disney, the imagination is the preview of what's to come. Oh, that's a good reference. Yeah. If you allow yourself to only operate within the context of what you see, you're not going to get your goal and dream because there's so many situations that seem hopeless. I know a guy, he committed suicide. Why? Because he was looking with his eyes. He didn't stop to think. He looked with his eyes and he judged according to appearances, and he took a temporary situation with a permanent solution. Listen. Don't get caught up and possessed by the environment, possessed by the bad news, possessed by the death toll. And my heart goes out to family members and friends and people who've lost their lives. No, don't get possessed by that. Stay focused and persevere because it's going to end. This place where we are right now, it's going to end. Quincy Jones had a point. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. It's going to end. And the people who will come out victoriously, the people who will come out and capitalize off this period where we are, the people that will soar are the people that are willing to persevere. Now, it might appear to be impossible for you to overcome wherever you are. Your business has gone under, or you went through foreclosure, and I see in the news today that there's a tsunami of evictions that are on the way to happen. And many of these people, they're going to buy into, oh my God, there's no way at this age in my life that I can overcome this. If I listened to that kind of craziness, I would not be talking to you right now. I want you to write this down. Nelson Mandela said this. He had a real challenge. I like to talk about people who've gone through some stuff. Nelson Mandela said when they told him, until you agree to stop those who are using violence to break the back of apartheid, we're going to keep you here. And he said, no, I'm not going to agree to that. He gave up 26 years of his life. There are people saying, come on, Nelson. Other guys in there, come on, Nelson. All you have to do is agree. There's no way we can defeat apartheid. America supports apartheid. He was willing to persevere for 26 years. Had he listened to the naysayers, he would have never been the only man in the history of the world to come out being a prisoner for 26 years and became the president of the country. Oh my goodness, what a mighty God we serve. The greatest accomplishment in the history of the world because he was willing to persevere for 26 years. I remember a friend of mine that came to my speaker training, and he was in prison, and he said he was in the hole and he was facing some difficulty, and mentally he did not believe that he can handle being locked up for 5 years for selling drugs. And he wrote his mother and said, "Mama, I don't know if I can take this." And she wrote him back and she said, "Baby, if Nelson Mandela did 26 years to liberate his people, you can do 5 for enslaving them to drugs." He dropped his pen and shut the hell up. I said, "What did you say?" He said, "What could I say? Nothing. Nothing." She said, you can do 5? You're enslaving people to crack cocaine. You can do 5 years. He did 26 years to liberate people. You're enslaving people with drugs. See, we don't know how strong we are until we are put to the test. And right now, life is testing all of us. Right now, all of us are going through some stuff right now. All of us are being challenged right now. Perseverance is the order of the day. And so when you think about what he said, that perseverance is stubbornness with a purpose, that you got a purpose. There's something that you want to do. Your goal is to help people, to build wealth, and leave a legacy. If you just focus on that and keep the main thing, if you focus on that, if you get it in your heart, not just in your mind, in your heart, that perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did. Once that sinks in, I'm not talking about intellectually, I'm talking about going from your mind to your heart. Living a heart-centered life in my book called You've Got to Be Hungry. I talk about a heart-centered life because the mind will say, there's just no way I can come back from this. Just no way we can rebuild again. We don't have the credit. We don't have the money. We don't have the help. Oh, but you got a heart. Come on, you got to have heart. That's where perseverance sets up camp and lives in your heart. Where the heart is, there your treasure is also. You don't know how strong you are. You don't know enough about yourself to throw in the towel and thinking about taking yourself out. Anybody can quit. Anybody. No. You were born to win. It's your birthright. You were born rich. You will go through some stuff in this thing called life. If it hasn't happened to you, just keep living. Your number will be called. You will be tested. No tests, no testimony, no guts, no glory. It takes guts. During this time, it takes focus. During this time, with all the madness and the craziness that's going on right now. Oh, putting yourself in the mindset of willingness to do the work after you've done everything you can to get you through. That's what perseverance is. That's That's where the rubber hits the road. That's how you get the butter from the duck. Most people are wimps. Most people are happy living a misplaced life. Some people are born lazy and trifling and good for nothing. George Bernard Shaw talked about establishing a tribunal where people would be required to come once a year and give a reason why they should be allowed to live for another year. I know a lot of people that would not make that cut. I've got a friend, 9 children. Are you paying child support? No. If I had it, I would give it. Do you have a job? No. I've been looking though. I've been looking. Are you skilled at doing anything? No, I dropped out of school kind of early. So what are you contributing to life? Well, I'm just surviving. You know, me and my boys, we just kicking it. Pull your pants up while you're here before me. Would you pull your pants up? Oh, yes. Yeah. So you're sagging though. Yeah. Okay. Take him out. Nope. We don't need this here. Oh my God. I knew the time that I could not give justification to live another year because I wasn't living the life that I was supposed to live. I was caught up in this thing called life. I was living a misplaced life. I was misdirected. I did not know the truth of who I was. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The prodigal son, he came to himself. And when I got a call that my mother had breast cancer, I came to myself. Oh, at that time, I was Les Brown, the man about town. But when Margaret Ann said, Mama has breast cancer, it changed everything. My political ambitions, the work that I was doing in radio, it changed everything. There are things in life. One phone call can change everything. Everything. Changed everything. I remember when I rung the doorbell and Miss Mildred said, Mamie, Leslie's here. And I heard my mother say, I knew he would come. I knew my boy would come. I came to myself. You have something special. You have greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. It is required that you're stronger than what you're facing. You are. It's true. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. It's true. You've been given a dominion and authority over everything. It's true. It's true. You're stronger than you realize. Got to be willing to persevere. You have something special. If you have a voice, you have a story, if you want to make a difference, something you know right now, if you look at the news, we need more voices today than ever before. Nothing changes until it's spoken. It's spoken. This is no time to be a witness. You got a voice, you got a story, you can make some impact. All hands on deck. Will it happen overnight? No. No, I got fired 50 years ago editorializing against police brutality and police deadly use of force. No. Your voice is needed. Evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. This is no time to be complicit with your silence. Never forget, this lady came from Australia and she said, I want you to work with me to tell my story. And I said, why me? I saw you speaking in the Georgia Dome to 80,000 people and you spoke from your heart. Can you teach me how to do that? I said, yes. And then I started working with her, and I said, why do you want to do that? And she said, when I look at the world, I believe the world is divisive and violent, not because a few people are dominant, but because too many people are silent. I got a voice, I got a story, and I got a hunger to make a difference with my life. It gave me chills just thinking about it. We both cried as she spoke. There's something in you. What's going on now? What's going down now? It's no time to be silent. It's time for you to get the coaching and the training that you need so that you can make a greater impact. Your voice matters. Yes, it does. Nothing will change until those who are as outraged, who are not affected, as those who are affected by the injustices that's going on. We now have technology that's exposing the character of America. This is a reckoning. You can't hide anymore. You can't ignore it anymore. Oh, you're just making it up. There you go, playing the race card. Oh, these such wonderful people. Oh, yeah. Your voice is needed. If you would like to be coached on how you can be a voice of influence, how you can advance your career, how you can build your business, build your organization, how you can call attention to the things that you feel in your heart strongly about. If you are interested in what Dr. Miles Monroe said, rob the cemetery of your voice, of your story, of your influence, of your impact. Rob the cemetery, live full and die empty. Put voice in the comment section. Allow me to coach you. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. I've been on this planet for 75 years. I've trained some of the best and top speakers on the planet. This is your time. You can hear me in your heart. I'm not talking about in your ears. I'm talking about in your heart. And there's something that you want to do before you leave here. Put voice in the comment section. Become stubbornly focused on your purpose and be willing to do the hard work after you get tired of doing the hard work you've already done, and persevere until you succeed. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Erin?
All right, I think Jessica's comment right here says it all. She said, chills running down her spine. You are on fire today.
Thank you.
I do want to jump in here and tell you, if you're on LinkedIn, can you actually go to powervoicetraining.com if you're interested in working with Les one-on-one, and then on Facebook, put voice in the comments. But make sure you go to that website if you're on LinkedIn. It's right here. I mean, we have everybody today. I think one of the things up here that you really touched on that really touched people today, you said you had the complexion of rejection. And then what was the rest of it that you said?
The others have the complexion of connection. I mean, case in point, when Gunther Rinker was spending millions of dollars to promote Tony Robbins, he had the complexion of connection. When I wrote them, they said, you have an inspiring story, but you're Black. And we don't believe America is ready for a Black motivational speaker. So I had the complexion of rejection. And so I wrote him back and say, thank you very much. I never would have known that I was Black had you not told me. And I wrote them back and said, I'll see you from the top. Oh. and I did it without their millions. I did it without an infomercial.
Right.
I'm not a crybaby. I just asked for a partnership. They could have made some money with me, and I've made millions without them. My focus is changing lives. And that's what I do. That's what I came to do. And I believe that if we focus on that, let me share this with you. I'll do it tomorrow. About an experience with my other grandson. I'll talk about this tomorrow. But let me share this with you. This stuff that's going on, we have to be more powerful and vocal than the opposition, than the darkness. Yeah, they're not playing. And we have to be willing to persevere. We're not playing either. There's no time to be slacking up. No, not at all.
I will tell you, while I was over in the waiting room, I have a great dear friend here in Kansas City who has your complexion, same complexion, owns 4 or 5 businesses, trying to get a new retail space, and has had hit a couple walls once they've met him in person, right? Everything good on the phone, hit a couple walls once they met him in person. And I will tell you today, while he was watching your show, he got the call that he got the space he really wanted. And so that really hit hard. He was texting me while I was over in the waiting room. So I know there was a lot of people that needed to hear that today.
Excellent. So, yes, it goes with the territory being rejected, but it does not mean that you stop. I went from rejection to rejection to rejection to rejection, and got excited with every rejection because I knew that brought me a step closer to a yes.
Just keep persevering.
Yeah. Lakeisha, she's in my mind. Lakeisha, thank you, love. Thank you, baby. A speaker I trained out of Chicago. She was such a determined person. And she passed. But I remember she went to several places. She wanted to have an office in downtown Chicago in the same block as Ebony Magazine. And she went to this place that she thought would be an ideal place. And people who owned it were Polish. And they told her no. She came back 3 months later, and she asked for the place again. And she spoke fluent Polish. And they gave her the place free. And so the fact that you would learn our language and come back and talk to us, have a conversation with us, you don't have to worry about paying any rent. Wow. Lakeisha, she was powerful. I never forget the last night I saw her. She was in the hospital. I flew in to visit her when they were rolling her down the hall, and Micaiah, the daughter, and she said, Micaiah, in a few days, Grandmama's going to tell you if I've gone to be with God. And she said, and when you think about me, I want you to think happy thoughts. And so she was distracted with something. You know how kids are, and they're about 5. She said, Micaiah, listen to me. Grandma's going to tell you I've gone to be with God. And when you think about me, I want you to think happy thoughts. And she said, okay, Mommy. A few days later, she died. And I went. The grandmother told her, your mother has gone to be with God. And she raised her little finger, and she went and she sat on a chair, and she looked up and said, hi, Mommy. I'll see you one day. And let me tell you something. I was everything in me to hold my composure watching her. And so she said, "Do we leave now?" "Yes, we will celebrate your mother's life in a week." This young lady was very talented. When she was teaching, the teachers would say, "Teach to the test, teach to the test." She says, "No, that won't help them. I want them to learn and have a desire to learn. I'm teaching leaders," and she died of breast cancer. We don't know how much time we have left. I think about speakers that I've worked with who are going on, and I'm still here. And I have to do and pick up the slack where they left off. On the other side, I know, laughing at my Kid and Play hairstyle. Look at it, looking like Kid. I'm getting so much criticism about this hairstyle. Ask me, do I care?
No, you don't.
No, oh, behave, whatever, hello. Thank you so much. Put voice in the comment section if you want to make a difference. If you love helping people, if you want to create wealth, if you want to make your mark with your voice and with your story, if you want me to coach you, put voice in the comment section. This has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's Baby Boy and Lakeisha's Pride and Joy. God bless you. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
And tomorrow you're going to tell us the story about your son, about your other grandson, I think you said.
Yes.
Time,
yes.
same
It's
place.
quite a story. Yes. It's quite a story. It's got the fire lit in my belly. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, Aaron. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you. We'll see y'all same time, same place tomorrow. Bye.
Yes. Bye for now.